Welcome back to my channel. We're going to make this rag wreath for your front door or your fireplace. As always, remember to subscribe, like, and click that bell. Let's get started. Today you're going to need a wired wreath form of your choice. They come in circles, hearts, and squares. Today I'm going to use a circle. You also need 1.5 yards of any fabric that you choose and a pair of scissors. We're going to cut the fabric into strips. You can make them as short or as long as you want. I found out that if you cut them short and long, it actually looks better on the finished product. My particular wreath only has the fabric on the outside and on the very closest on the inside ring. I decided to leave these two open and not fill these. I actually made this wreath and actually filled the entire thing, and it was a little too full for me, and that's totally your choice. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the ribbon and tie it in one singular knot. You don't need to double tie it. It actually secures itself quite nicely just with one. And the nice part is the looser it is, the easier it is to move it as you go on if you make any mistakes, especially if you have multicolored ribbons and you're making them with 5 or more different fabrics. It's a lot easier if you don't tie it in the bow very tightly. It's easier to come undone. I found that out the hard way. I figured that you had to actually pull it tight. You don't. You're going to fill this all the way around the exterior and the interior. This takes approximately one Hallmark movie, guys. I watched one of the Hallmark movies this weekend and made this particular form. And what I'm going to do is show you what it looks like when it's all done. It takes approximately about 1.5 hours or so. Mine took originally about 1 hour and 40. Like I said, I filled up all 4 of the areas. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's done. When you're all done, it's going to look a little bit like this. I decided to put the little sign on it, "I love you a bushel and a peck." My great-grandmother, Fanny, used to tell us every time we came into her home, "I love you a bushel and a peck." So for me, it reminds me of my great-grandmother. So for my home, I chose to put that sign on my front door, on my wreath. And if you want to, you can add any type of bow you would like to it to dress it up. Or you can dress it down and not put any signs on it and leave it as is. I decided to make this particular bow, and I'm going to put that bow on it a little bit later. You can also change out the bows and leave it for the seasons. If you make your wreath neutral colored, you can pretty much use it year round. I use the burgundies and the creams because that's my home's color schemes. You can use a bow like this. This particular bow I made for my Valentine's grapevine wreath that I have outside, and I made a video about that a couple of days ago. It doesn't really go with this particular wreath because of the bright reds contrast against the burgundy of the ribbon that I'm actually using right now. But you could take off the bright red and leave it off completely, or find a burgundy and put the burgundy on there and just leave the heart ribbon on it and use it for Valentine's Day if I want to. But what I'm going to do is attach this particular bow to it, and that's going to be my front doors rag wreath.